third part of this tutorial series. This time we are going to have a look at the put and delete request for our API in Node and Express. If you haven't checked out the previous parts, I recommend to do this now and click on the link above. So let's don't talk too much and jump right in. Alright, so last time I showed how the post request is working, and with the post request you are creating new objects within your array. And this time we are learning something about the put request. And with the put request you are updating existing objects within your array. So let's do that. As you already know, we go to app and then we type in put. We go to the path of our API. And this time we need a parameter to identify the food we want to update. And I'm going with the name here, which is the better identifier because the other ones are not unique, because it's the type and the type can be used more than once. Oop. There we go. Okay, and then what do we need to do? So we need to actually find the given food. So the user requests the food with a name, for example, banana, and then we need to find the banana object within our array. Then we need to return a for if the food is not found. Can't be found, doesn't matter. But if that happened, we will validate the given input. And if it's invalid, we return the 400 error. And if it's valid, we just update our food. And also we are returning the updated food to the user. Okay, so this is a pretty the same setup as we have in our post request. So we can copy some stuff. This one we also know, but not from the post request, but from the get request. So the get request, we also have searched for a given type in this case, and we returned an error if it couldn't be found. So in this case, we are searching not for a type, but for the name. Name the error message. And looking at this, I just see that there's actually an issue now, because we are not, if the 4 is given, then we can basically return something like nothing in this case, because we have to end the function, which is not happening here. So we could do either the classical if statement like this and then return nothing to end the function call, or there's actually a shorter way to write that, and that's to return return like that. And then we are basically, it's not cluttering our code here. Then we need to validate our food. And for the validation, we already have a validation in the post request. So we could either copy the whole code here and pasting it here, which wouldn't make sense if you think about it. So, and since coders are always lazy, we just write a new function. And with that function, we are passing an argument. And now we can actually just extract the code from here into that function. Also this one. And return the result. Yeah. But also we can simplify the code in here. And of course we don't have to call the request body in this case, because that's the argument. We are calling food here, so our argument. And we, as you can already see, we can also simplify that. So we just can write the code like that. And then it's much more cleaner. Okay, within here, we now just can have a constant result, and that constant result is calling validate food with an argument of request.body. Then we are much cleaner and we can call the same within here. All right, and then of course we have to copy this one to return the 400, and like the other, we can write this a bit cleaner and save some space. Okay, and then there's this thing called object destructuring, which would enable us to get also rid of the result here, so we don't have to write result.arrow, because we are also entering only arrow in this case. And for that we just need to write those curly brackets. So we're entering the first object here, and that's the name we want to have. Then we just have to write arrow here, which also saves us some space. And this is the equivalent to, like, if you would write result.arrow, it's the same. Yeah, and then we are already through that code and just need to update our object. So first of all, we searched here for if this food even exists, and then if the request the user gave us, if that's a valid request. So we check that both, and now we can update our food. And to do that, we just entering the object. So we're calling the food object, and with the dot notation, we are entering the object name key. And now we are just setting this to the request name. And last, we of course also send back the updated food to the user. Okay, and then we can test our code. We just save it. Our node1 is updating the API, and let's check here quickly API/food. So we are getting back our objects: fruit, vegetable, and grain, broccoli, apple, and wheat. So now I'm going to start Postman to do an actual request. And from that request, we are switching from post to put. And here we now are searching for the fruit we want to update. So we have as we could see, we have an apple in here. So I'm searching the apple. Again, we go to body. Here, yeah, let's just update it like it is here. We change the apple to a banana now, and we are getting back fruit banana. So that is working. So let's check the other cases, and we will remove the property. We remove the name property here. Try to send it. And then yeah, the food with given name could not be found. And of course, if we change the name of the fruit, we also have to change the request parameter. So the name is maybe not ideal to change. So if we request now the banana with just 3 letters, then we get the actual validation back that the name length must be at least 4 characters long. So we send that again, getting back the new updated object, and if we go here, we see that our fruit is now called banana or not apple. And then there's also the case to if you want to delete an entry within your array. And the delete request is, as you already know, it's the same as always, app.delete and then the API name. And in here, of course, we also need the parameter to identify the fruit, in this case, or food we want to delete. Then we have our request response function, and we are calling that. Then again, we need to find the food, and we also need to return the 404 if it's not existing. Otherwise, if we find it, we delete it, and we return the food to the user. Okay, so we just can copy that code above here, as you already see that. Then we need to find the index of that food. So we go into our foods array and search for the index of, and we are searching this specific food. So we got the index now. Then we are entering the foods array again and splice it. Go to the index and delete it. And then, as always, we send back the food. Okay, so we have the apple again in here. So we're opening Postman again, switch to delete, and then of course banana doesn't exist anymore. We need apple again. And then we simply delete this time our apple. And if we go back, as you can see, the object was removed. Yeah, and that's how you can create an own API with Node.js and ExpressJs. I hope you like this small tutorial series. If you want to see more like this, please let me know in the comments. And also don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Also don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like that video. And I hope to see you in the next one.